Hello Earth citizens, this is Kamal here from the EcoFarm. Today we're here at the Eco Community Center in Cottonwood, Arizona, and I'm going to be talking with Steve Kim. He is the Executive Director of the Earth Citizens Organizations, and he's also the author of the book, The Art of Coexistence. So let's go inside. Thank you so much for coming. Today I'm here with Steve Kim.
Hey, Kamal.
Can you tell us a little bit about when did you start with the Earth Citizens Organization? How's your journey has been, and leading up to the book, The Art of Coexistence?
Yeah, the beginning of Earth Citizen Organization, originally founded by Ilchi Lee, the main author of this book. He started because he believed that the solution for all the challenges and problems that we face on the planet Earth is not only, it doesn't come from technology or knowledge, it comes from the spirit of the shared identity as Earth citizens and our willingness to work together to deal with those the collective challenges. And in order to do that, one person or one organization or even one nation, how powerful that is, cannot manage the whole work needed for that. So that's how he wanted to, with the shared identity of Earth citizens, Earth citizenship, he wanted to connect. The goal of the ECO was 100 billion Earth citizens. So in order to organize that kind of marginal number of people to work together for the shared vision, creating the sustainability for the future of the planet and humanity. And that's how it started. And then, so I worked with him to set up the organization and spread the vision and the spirit of Earth citizenship since then. It was established in 2015, about 10 years ago.
Okay.
So that's how it started.
2021 was when I actually shifted to Arizona and started becoming an intern on the EcoFarm. At that time, I think you were in New York.
Yes, I was in the East Coast, and then ECO is not only about the farm. As I mentioned in the beginning, ECO is the main purpose is inspiring and spreading the spirit of Earth citizenship, and then wherever they are, whatever the living environments are, not only about farming, but there are things that we can do. So that was the purpose. So I, even while I'm not involved in the EcoFarm, I was doing the same thing wherever I was. So I was organizing the trainings and activities in the East Coast as well. So that while I was in the East Coast, that's when I co-authored this book. Yes,
it's talking about everybody can do a small action. We can all do something small in our daily lives to create some change. If I really want to be able to control what I'm eating, what I'm putting in my body, I should be able to grow it. And I feel like that's like part of an Earth citizen. It's like being close to the food and growing the food. And I feel like that should be children learning to brush their teeth. You know, like that should be, people should know how to grow food. And I think that might be more important in the future. Right now, calamities that are happening, that's gonna affect our food supplies. And if we can at least learn to grow our own food, we can have somewhat of control.
I never been a farmer in my life. So I didn't have any background, any knowledge, any skills about farming when I started.
Wow.
When you don't have any background, any experience, any knowledge, even passion for that, then you can imagine how challenging that is. But there's a reason why I did that. The first of all, when you say nature, in a lecture or in a workshop that I lead, if I ask people, imagine nature, what images that comes up to mind, then most people think about the green forest and then ocean and those kind of things. But actually, one thing that we need to remember, the closest connection that we have with nature is the food that we eat, or the air that we breathe.
For sure.
That's the most foundational things. And the breathing is okay, but for most of the people, we are losing connection with the food that we eat. Because most of the things we just buy it from the grocery store without knowing how we grow it and where it comes from, and also it's closely related with the much of the sustainability issue as well, because we bring For example, in the U.S., for most of the food that we buy, it doesn't come from the local growers. We bring it through the 1,000 miles of transportation. And the source of the groceries it's a concentrated, mechanized, concentrated farming, which means it's much more fragile to the impact of the change of the climate, and then the bigger scale. It will have visually, when we have a big structure, it may look strong, but actually it's not. It's when a certain change of the climate or the energy supply and or temperature or energy supply or any of these, or financial crisis or any of these will have a huge impact on those kind of structure. So actually, when things are more organic, small scale, easy to adapt, actually it's much more stronger and sustainable. So for our sustainability, changing the way how we get our food is one of the essential changes that we need to create in our life. It doesn't mean everybody needs to be farmer, but at least we have to keep the essential knowledge and skills and how to grow our own food. So that was one reason, because I saw that maintaining the skills and knowledge as kind of essential resource that we can use for our own sustainability, and keeping that knowledge basis for us and for our next generation, instead of totally becoming dependent on the huge supply system. So that's one reason, to keep the essential knowledge and skills to grow our own food and share it with among us, and also transfer that knowledge to our next generation. That was one reason. The second one was the education for the younger generation. We know that, for example, attention deficit or ADHD is becoming a big issue among not only younger generation. Everybody has that issue, right? And then just the attention is scattered, and then just keep changing our attention for millions of different tasks without really being able to focus on a single thing. So when I saw the younger generation, I thought there's something that we can do to help children, help the younger generation, while they're learning the essential skills, the one that I shared about learning how to grow their own food. Also, if there's something that can help them to improve their attention or sense of responsibility or commitment, I thought there would be very valuable lessons, especially before they growing old. So that was another reason. The main thing that we selected, the education for the younger generation, was build, grow, heal, lead. So those are the four main themes. Grow means learn how to grow your own food. And build means learn how to build your own homes. And heal means learn how to take care of your own health. And lead means learn how to work with others for a shared goal, shared vision. So those are the four things. I usually call this sustainability basics, which means when you know how to do those things, when you know how to build your home, how to grow your own food, how to take care of your own health, how to work with other people, you can live anywhere, regardless of your ethnic or cultural, religious background. You can work and you can live with anywhere, live with anybody, any people in any location in the world. So I think that was not only spirit, but I believe that's the most of the core, foundational, essential education that any Earth citizen need to learn. So that was the main purpose of the EcoFarm when we started. And so they in the youth training program originally, they learned how to. They didn't build their own the full scale home, but we used the tiny house during that time. And we still have tiny house as part of the EcoFarm, but we brought the international youth group from US, Korea, Japan. They came here and worked together, and part of the program was they built part of the tiny house. They will be used for the next term that comes. So they didn't build the whole entire house, but they at least built the one part of the panel, the one side of the wall.
Okay.
And what was really interesting was we didn't give them power tool. They used a nail and hammer.
Okay.
So do you know how focused they can be when they hammer the nail? Otherwise they will hit their fingers. So everyone is so focused, and then it may be very boring job, right? Putting the nails on the wood frame and the wood panels on it, and the put the nails on it. It can be very boring work, but actually everyone is so focused, and actually also there was a purpose for that. It's not just they are not hired for that, but they are doing something for the people coming after them. Mm-hmm. So I saw the power of that kind of work, and then also. Instead of doing things on the computer, when they use their body and mind together with a single focus, I see how quickly they can improve their attention. So those are the things that we did for the youth training. Okay. For many reasons, it's including the pandemic, we stopped the group training. Since then, we may need to revive that when we are ready. But those are the things that the intention for the when we established the EcoFarm. So those two things, maintaining the essential knowledge of growing the food for us and for our next generation, because that's an essential part of the sustainability. And then second one is training, providing the training education for leadership training for the younger generation. Wow. So those are the two main reasons. Not because I love farming, not because I wanted to create a commercially successful farm. Right. That was never the intention of purpose. Wow. But these two were why we set up the farm and started running it.
A lot of you guys know my son Soham. He's in a lot of the videos. So and I felt that the younger generation needs to be, they need to feel the earth. They need to be, doing the physical stuff. So I was lucky enough to move to the farm as an intern in 2021, and I was really inspired, and I was thinking to myself, if Soham can learn these things, if he can learn how to grow the food, if he can learn to build. And that year was his first year in school, so we decided to homeschool him, and he's been homeschooled and he's been learning all these things on the farm up until now. When I came to the EcoFarm, the farm manager Pam at the time told me so many principles, and I was just shocked. I said, wow, the regenerative farming, the organic farming, companion planting, so many things. I said, okay, first, I just want to learn how to grow food. I just want to maybe have a small garden. Once I start doing that, then the next step I can say, okay, how do I take care of the pests without putting in chemicals? And the next thing was, how can we take care of the soil, like composting? So I can learn those little by little by little. So my mind was that, I'm just going to go there and I'm going to learn farming. But I didn't know that there's principles beyond the farm. I'm sure a lot of people that are not even born into a family that has farmers, they're just thinking you can go off, buy food from the shelf. And the younger generation, especially nowadays, I feel like they don't know where the food is coming from. The kids, they're not getting in touch with the nature, as you were explaining before, that the nature is not just mountain somewhere. It's just the food that you eat. It's just a simple, the carrot that you might be pulling out of the ground.
In the book, I mentioned some story about a school teacher who brought their children to the farm, and then the teacher saw how useful, how effective that is, as an educational, how inspiring also that was when children first learn how the food they're eating every day, where does it come from, how it grows. And so I think that was the original part of the original intention when we set up the EcoFarm.
Thank you guys for watching. We will continue our conversation in our next video where we talk about our partner EcoFarms and small-scale EcoFarms. That's it for now. We will catch you in the next one.
Like, share, subscribe at Go EcoFarm.